I was just surfing the internet and I was just on the AIP website and I just noticed that AIP dropped its latest processing time and inventory details. Till today, it was latest till 3rd of August, but now I see they have dropped the latest number, which are current as of August 9th. So let's discuss that. And in this process, what I would like to clarify is certain kind of confusion which many people have with related to these numbers. I am getting a sense that many people are trying to base their decision on which stream to choose and which and should they apply at all, right? Based on these numbers. So I just wanted to clarify something on this, which I hope will give you a peace of mind. I can understand the anxiety of all the applicants because I was there at the same stage. But things have improved a lot. Like AIP is now coming up with almost weekly updates, which is a very good thing. Back when I applied for Tech Pathway, there was update happening 1 month. We never used to come to this page because it was so dated. But I think whatever happens for good, and this is a good thing that has happened. So let's first do some kind of a general discussion on these nomination certificate limits, right? Apparently, IRCC has given around 9,750 allocations to AIP, and AIP has decided to split it between express entry and non-express entry pathways. We all know what is the express entry pathway. Express entry pathway is any pathway of AIP which needs a IRCC's express entry number. You have to be in the express entry pool to be considered for these express entry pathways, which is basically called Alberta General Express Entry, and it has its own substreams like tech pathway and a dedicated healthcare pathway. Then there are non-express entry pathways, which basically are streams like AOS and RRS. AOS is Alberta Opportunity Scheme, and RRS is Rural Renewal Scheme. These these don't require you to be on the express entry pool. You can directly apply to AIP, and if you get nominated, after that you can directly apply for PR. You don't need to go through the express entry pool for these non-express entry pathways. Okay. Alberta has decided to split it equally, these 9,750 nominations equally between express entry pathways and non-express entry pathways. But it also says a very important line which says that this is subject to change throughout the year. Right. So if you see here, subject to change throughout the year. So this can happen that if there are low applications in some of the streams, AIP can allocate some of those unused nomination certificates to that scheme, right? So which you will see as I come to the inventory. But I just wanted to relieve you of any anxiety and any kind of tension if you have, that if you are applying for a stream and you see that the number of applications are 2 times or 3 times the remaining numbers, don't worry, it's not for you to decide, right? AIP would like to issue all 9750 nominations in 2023, right? And they have only less than 5 months to go in this year. Okay. um, and as I said, these AIP plans are subject to change without notice, and they depends on fluctuating application volumes, right? So it's all based on anticipation and planning. So don't, it's not up to you. So my philosophy in life is, if I cannot control something, I don't worry about that. Okay. But yes, knowledge is power. We need to know what's happening, and this updated web page is a very good beginning. Okay. Let's see. So summary of 2023 allocations were basically AIP is giving a latest breakup of number, how it's expected to distribute this 4,000 9,750 nomination certificate limits. It has split it equally between express entry streams and non-express entry stream. So if you look at the non-express entry stream, Alberta opportunity streams gets almost like what, 80% of those certificate limits, which is 4,240. Rural renewal streams gets 630, and entrepreneurial streams have a very minuscule number of 5. Okay, coming to express entry, family connection and occupation in demand, 1200 odd. Accelerated tech pathway, again 1200 odd. And dedicated healthcare pathway has a higher nomination certificate allocation. This is kind of also expected. Dedicated healthcare pathway is a newer pathway which Alberta has launched. So it's expected that it's trying to see how much application it's gathering and how much allocations it has, which we will see how it's going on with the latest inventory numbers. And then the remaining 900 odd are going to the priority sectors, which is construction, agriculture, hospitality, and tourism. And this is how the total allocations are of 9750 is allocated by AIP. The important number here is 6527 nomination certificates have been issued so far in 2023, which means around 3200 odd number, 3200, yeah, 3200 nomination certificates are still available with AIP, which is enough, which is more than enough for 4.5 months to go. Next, there is the declaration on application value and processing time. This basically talks about this. This is kind of a general disclaimer that it the processing time depends on the volume, the application quality, how complete the applications are, and things like that. Right. So this you can read through. Next, next is the next is the actual inventory details. So here, look at the let's go by stream. So Alberta opportunity stream, we saw it had the maximum allocation of any of the streams, which basically means Alberta is expecting that many people who are already living and working in Alberta would apply for PNP nominations, right? In fact, almost 50%, like just like around 45%, right, of all the 9750 allocations would AIP is expecting that it will be going to people who are already living and working in Alberta. So see here, Alberta opportunity streams has around 1176 applications in queue, and the number of allocations remaining is only 435, right, which is almost 3 times the application number, right? So should you worry? In my opinion, no. But let's keep going, and I'll conclude a bit later why I'm saying that. Processing time is approximately 4 months, and right now they are processing applications from June 20th, which is around 2 months back. So if you have already applied almost 2 months back, don't worry. If you have applied just in July or in August, it will take time to reach there because the processing time is around 4 months. Next is the very popular accelerated tech pathway uh, thing. Here there are around 295 applications which are pending. But do you see here it says number of allocations remaining to be determined, right? Which basically means it's very fluid, right? So if there are any kind of remaining nomination certificates from other streams, it can very well move to tech pathway. That's how I read it. right? So to be determined means it's the situation is quite fluid. Right now, the processing time is approximately 1 month, and they are actually AI in July 20th. They are reviewing applications from July 20th, which is like less than a month, 3 weeks almost, right? So then so then I think tech pathway is proceeding as per the expected. Dedicated healthcare pathway. Now this is very interesting. Alberta was expecting that this new pathway will attract almost 1462 nominations, right? That's the high allocation it had given. But see here, there are only less than 10. There are only less than 10 applications out of 1428. So 1428 plus 10 is 1438, and then they had a total allocation of 1462. So this means that in the first 8 months almost, they have only issued like 24 nominations under dedicated healthcare. So what happens to this 14 or 1400 odd nomination limit? Will they just waste it? I don't think so. So they can use it in streams like Alberta Opportunity Stream or in Alberta Tech Pathway, which has higher applications. Dedicated health care pathway is also pretty fast, looks pretty fast, has a processing time of 1 month. Again, priority sector. Priority sector AIP had expected 975 applications, nominations would be issued, but if we see here, only 147 are in process. They still have 781 left. They have said 781 allocations left. So which basically means that they will again have a gap of around 500 or 600 nomination certificates, which can be used in high volume applications. Again, I'm always saying it can be used. I'm not saying it will be used. I'm not official spokesperson for AIP or a legal advisor. This is just the way that I read these numbers and interpret them. It's my interpretation. Priority sector has a processing time of 2 months, and this is also and they are also looking at applications from July 21st, which is less than 3 months. Right? See this family connection and occupation in demand is the next category, and only 196 applications are processing in pending, and they have 658 applications which are available, nomination limit which is available. When this was launched, it was expected that a lot of allocations would go to people who already have family or friends in Alberta, but it doesn't look like the volume is so high, right? So you can see the numbers. This even has a very high processing time of all the streams. It has almost 3 months of processing time, but they are doing well. It has not lagged behind much. It's also in July, so they are processing applications from July. Rural renewal scheme is the popular scheme, right? So now comes a very popular scheme, just like the tech pathway or the Alberta opportunity stream, which is the rural renewal streams. Like almost they have 405 applications which are pending and 81 remaining. So almost 5 times the volume is applications, right? So first thing we need to understand, not all applications will result in nomination. That's the first thing. And then even if they exhaust the remaining number, there is a very high chance that they can use the remaining nomination limits from streams like healthcare or um, family connection and occupation in demand. These streams, I'm very sure, will have thousands of nomination limits at the end of the year. So I'm sure they are looking at the way applications are coming in, what's the volume and what's the trend looking like, and they will do a course correction as we go ahead. Okay, this is only 2 months, and this is the one which is kind of a really backlogged. This is like compared to the others, 18 June. So almost 2 months. They are almost backlogged by 2 months, but okay. Stream for entrepreneurs, they have given a processing time for entrepreneurs. I'm not too aware or not too familiar with the entrepreneur stream, so I didn't want it to give any kind of wrong information. So I'm not going into that. Then there is a small section on certain NOCs which are very high in where the application is very high in number, and as a result, if your NOC is one of these, there could be significant delays in processing your application. It has nothing to do with your application as such. It's just that since the volume is high, uh, the the processing time usually is higher. Right? So this is what I see as the inventory details. Um, that was declared by Alberta just a few hours back. Express entry draws. This section is basically talking about the draw that Alberta does, similar to IRCC's draw every month, and it's kind of declaring what is its process and thought process. So 25% of the nominations in every draw will be allocated to in-demand occupation, 50% to tech pathway, healthcare, and 25% to tech pathway, and 50% to healthcare and priority sectors. If you look at the past draws, Alberta has done certain draws, and then it has declared what were the parameters that were used. For example, on August 3rd, 201 notification of interest were issued, and then it was the priority was given to family connection and occupation and demand. But this is not a very relevant section for us because this is only a notification of interest volume, right? It's just showing that how much it can be important if you are really at that border CRS score. So number one, this is only for those people who are working, who are applicable for Alberta Express entry. So because for AOS and RRS, there is no draw, right? So first understand that. And then this is only showing your notification of interest. Not all notification of interest will result in application, and not all applications will result in nominations. So yeah, so like for example, 200, they sent 201 notifications to somebody who is sitting in Ontario. He has just marked that he is interested in all the provinces, right? And then due to these conditions like occupation and demand, a notification was sent to him, but he never he doesn't want to move to Alberta, and then so he declined. Those kind of things can really happen. So I would not consider this as much of a concern. It's good that they are declaring this data so that you have more visibility and clarity. So yeah, keep going through this. But again, as I said, the two very popular streams apart from the express entry, rural renewal, and Alberta opportunity streams, it's not covered. It will not be covered in this express entry draw done by Alberta. So it's giving only a part of the picture. Okay. So I hope I was able to clarify some of your doubts. If you still have doubts, you know how to reach me. I'm available on WhatsApp, on my YouTube comments, mostly on YouTube comments. Like WhatsApp is getting a lot backed up. So reach out to me on my YouTube comments, and I will be able to respond and help to the best of my ability. Okay. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.